more and more polls are starting to roll in that were conducted after President Biden dropped out of the presidential race on Sunday, and Kamala Harris, of course, became the presumptive Democratic nominee. And pretty much every poll that has come out after Biden dropped out has contained at least a little bit of really horrible news for Donald Trump. Of course, in the new Reuters poll that came out, Kamala Harris is actually beating Trump by 2 points, 44% to 42%. But a new CNN poll also came out that may even have worse news for Donald Trump. Now, the CNN poll nationwide does have Donald Trump ahead of Kamala Harris, but it's within the margin of error, so it's statistically tied. But even with that little bit of good news for Donald Trump, this same poll found that Harris is now siphoning off 5% of former Trump supporters. That's the reason the race is neck and neck, because previously these people had said, I'm voting for Donald Trump over President Biden. But now that Harris is going to be the nominee, they're saying, well, wait a minute, I'm actually not voting for Trump now. I'm going to vote for Harris. 5%. That is massive. 5 days, 5%. Because let's be real, that's how long Kamala Harris has been the nominee now, 5 days. And she is already taking away 5% of these Trump supporters. Now, to be clear, I do not think that these are the people who were parts of the Trump boat parades. These are not people with MAGA hats wearing them around town all day. These were likely swing voters who may lean a little conservative, but didn't necessarily like Trump, but weren't okay with Biden. But now that Biden's out, these on-the-fence voters who had already said they would go for Trump, they're now switching to Harris. That's what I do believe is happening with these polls. And again, for this to already be happening 5 days after she becomes the presumptive nominee, 5 days into her campaign, then I think that Donald Trump is setting himself up for an absolute obliteration at the polls this coming November. If Kamala Harris can continue running this campaign the way she has done for 5 days, and 5 days is not a long time, okay? We can't base anything off of what has happened in the 5 days. But what we can extract from the available data is that if she continues on this path, and she does not have any major screw-ups, like Trump has been having all week, she can cruise to a fairly easy victory. We will start to see these polls shift dramatically in the coming weeks. Because it's not just that Harris is doing great. The other side of that coin is that Donald Trump is also doing really bad. And part of the reason he is doing really bad is because his vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, has flopped, just the hardest of any vice presidential nominee in my lifetime. And that's literally what the polls are showing us. And it's even, look, right now, what's one of the issues that's been talked about this week? Like, did J.D. Vance have sex with a couch? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then look that up or just Google that phrase, J.D. Vance sex with couch. Like, that's been a big thing all over social media this week. Trump's running mate, we're talking about whether or not he had relations with a sofa. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. He also has been busted now writing the foreword for the Heritage Foundation guy's new book about Project 2025. And that, by the way, has also pissed off Trump supporters. Because they're like, you lied to us about knowing about Project 2025. It's insane. All the good things are happening to the Democrats. All the bad things are happening to the Republicans. This week only, of course. Things will change. They change very quickly these days. But right now, the Democrats have the wind in their sails while Donald Trump is bailing water out of his sinking ship. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.